Disclaimer. This video exists for the purposes of entertainment, education, and theory rebuttal. This video is not an attack on the creator of the theory, nor will it, unless otherwise stated, address the theory creator personally. Instead, the creator's name in this video will be used as either a name to address the theory by, or to address the assumed mindset of the creator at the time of this video's creation. Unless there is substantial evidence, it is not assumed the creator still stands behind the video in question. If you harass or witch hunt anyone involved with this video, I will personally disown you. Thank you. You don't need me to tell you all what the gamer is. In short, they're a channel that primarily makes list videos about video games. Lately, though, they've been dipping their toes into theory territory with a series known as Gameology. And whoo boy is it bad! In this particular episode, they decide to dredge back up the subject of our dear friends, toads. Considering I just covered Game Theory's Toad video, I figured I'd give this one a stab too. Let's see how quickly we can find a major issue.
Toad has been protecting Princess Peach and letting Mario know she's in another castle for as long as we can remember. When you look at an adorable Toad, their head immediately jumps out to you. You know, because he has a gigantic mushroom on his head. This mushroom on Toad's head has led to plenty of speculation about what it actually is. Is it a part of his head? Is it just a hat? Well, those are both possibilities.
25 seconds. That was fast. Anyone who's watched the Toad's Deadly Secret video knows exactly what I'm talking about already, but I think I'll let our little gameologist explain this himself, because he actually hecking does.
In February of 2018, Yoshiaki Koizumi, the director of Super Mario Odyssey, confirmed in a Dev Talk video on YouTube that Toad's mushroom is actually a part of his head and left it up to the hardcore fans to find out how it works. Yep, one of the big corporate cats confirmed it, so Team Head wins! Toad's mushroom is a part of his head. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
I'm only 25 seconds in and this video is already feeling like a bad fever dream. Am I even still alive? Now let me give you the lowdown on exactly what's going to be happening with this video. Mr. Gameologist is going to be making arguments for 3 sides to the story of Toad's head, which he'll call Team Hat, Team Head, and Team Mystery. All 3 of these arguments have major flaws within them, but I'll get into those as I go.
You know what they say? Chili today, hot tamale. They say that.
Why don't we begin with Team Hat? Raise your hand if you ever watched the Super Mario Bros. Super Show cartoon. If you've seen the cartoon, you're not missing out on much, except for proof that Toad's mushroom is actually a hat. In one of the episodes, Toad removes his mushroom to reveal 3 strands of hair. The mushroom is just a toupee of sorts that Toads use to cover up their male pattern baldness. In another instance on the Super Show, a Toad falls from the sky and lifts up his mushroom to use it as a parachute.
But
this leads to the big question everyone always asks: whether the Super Mario Bros. Super Show is canon or not. This, my dear viewers, is certainly up for debate. Most people believe it's not canon, but I'd like to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments section below if you think this evidence counts.
anyone that believes that the cartoons are canon needs to open the window, step out onto the balcony, and look down at the fields of contradictory evidence. Then throw themselves off said balcony. And everyone's glaring at me because I put the cartoons in my alternate universe timeline and you all think I sound like a huge hypocrite right now. But, hear me out. For one, I'm still in the process of writing new timelines, so chill out. Once those are revised though, Super Show will be missing. Super Show is definitely not canon by any stretch of the imagination. Why? Koopa, that's why. Koopa plays so many different roles in Super Show that it's utterly ridiculous. There's absolutely no way all of that can possibly be canon. There's no conceivable way. As for SMB3 and Super Mario World cartoons, I put them in my alternate universe timeline instead of the main one for one specific reason. The Koopalings. The Koopalings in the cartoons are very different than the Koopalings that we've come to know in the games, and I'm not just talking about the names. The only way I'd ever call that canon would be in an alternate universe, but clearly not in the main Mario series. Sorry to go off on a tangent there, but it's related to the point at hand, so I see no harm. The cartoons aren't relevant to this argument, is what I'm trying to say.
In the meantime, I have even more proof it's a hat for all you haters out there. Or should I say, all you hatters out there. Take a look at this picture. Every Toad here has a different colored mushroom with a shirt that matches the same color. So the mushroom must be part of an interchangeable uniform then, right? If they wanted to wear yellow at Club Toad tonight, then they could just grab their yellow shirt and their yellow mushroom and have a night on the town. Toads might actually be more fashion-forward than you thought.
It's just as likely that these toads just like to coordinate their vests with their head colors. There are also plenty of toads that wear vests that don't match their head colors, or like the toad you yourself showed, wear completely different outfits entirely. The outfits could be the only fashion choice in this equation, and there's no evidence of a toad ever changing the color of their head.
Also, if we take a trip down to Super Mario 3D World, you could play as a blue Toad. If Toad gets a power-up, his outfit changes and a different piece of headgear resembling a helmet appears on his head. Now, you're probably thinking he can obviously put a helmet over his mushroom, but it definitely doesn't seem like it. His head is actually smaller with the helmet on, so unless his mushroom is like hair, which can be squished and fit inside the helmet, it's impossible his mushroom is underneath it.
What if the mushroom could squish up underneath a helmet like hair? There's never any evidence presented to the contrary, so it's still an option sitting there on the table untouched. And boy oh boy is it glaring.
In other games like Super Mario RPG and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, we see toads with hair coming out from the bottom of their mushroom. If hair can grow underneath the mushroom, it's definitely only a hat, or else that would just be crazy painful.
It would only be painful if their biology wasn't meant for it. After all, pain is only something that occurs when something happens to the body that the nervous system perceives as incorrect or harmful to the body. If it's something as simple as hair growing where it's definitely supposed to, there wouldn't be any pain involved. This is basic biology. Come the heck on.
But you know what they say? No, what do they say? China today, hot tamale. I don't think they say that.
Let's get into the second school of thought. Team Head. Let's begin with some very techie stuff that all you game developers love. Yeah, we're going to be looking at Toad's character model and how it's rendered in the Mario franchise.
Could this finally be? Am I finally going to get the chance to put all that knowledge I gained from those 2 years of video game design in college to good use? Is this my time? Heck, modeling was one of my best areas. Let's hecking go!
Oftentimes, game devs will find shortcuts to reduce unnecessary rendering. Not only will these shortcuts get the job done just as good as doing it the hard way, but they will also make the game use less processing power, allowing it to run smoother and more efficiently. The shortcut involves rendering the character model as one entity instead of multiple parts coming together as one. YouTuber She says,
Are you hecking serious? Have you ever watched a She Says video in your entire life?
Took this one step further and actually went inside of Toad's character model to see if his head and mushroom were rendered separately. It turns out there's not one 3D Mario game where Toad's mushroom is rendered separately from his head, meaning they are a package deal.
Buddy, you just got through saying that shortcuts exist when making models. Of course they're not going to put a head under there if it's never going to be seen. This point is dumb.
Let's compare this to another Nintendo character. For example, Koopa Kid in Mario Party 4 has his shell rendered separately from the rest of his body, even though we'll never see him without a shell. This unnecessary rendering can only mean one thing: Toad's mushroom is a part of his head. The developers could have rendered them separately if they wanted to, but decided not to.
Okay, yes, it's weird that they modeled Koopa Kid's back. They do it with Bowser and Bowser Jr. too, and I really don't understand it at all. Want to know what shoots your point in the foot, though? The main man of the franchise himself, Mario. In plenty, and I mean plenty of instances, Mario's head under his hat isn't fully modeled as his hair would poke through the hat. Does this mean that Mario's hat is part of his head because of this? Of course not! You're going to need more evidence than circumstantial modeling quirks, because this isn't stuff that can be used as evidence at all.
If you've ever played Super Mario Strikers Charged, you know exactly why it's called that. Electricity for days. And you know that saying about playing with electricity. If you play with electricity, you're going to get electrocuted, and Toad is no different. A screenshot of Toad getting electrocuted shows he has a normal-sized skull, but a gigantic head, making it look like he has the most amazing afro of all time. I mean, seriously, I wish I had a full head of hair like that. If the mushroom cap was a hat, it would be distinguishable in the photo, but since it's a part of his head, it's all black.
Oh my gosh, you did not actually just make this point. There's no way any sane person would actually make this point. This model of Toad is wearing a helmet, you absolute dingus. He's literally wearing a hat in this image because Mario Strikers, and it is represented as black. I cannot actually believe this is happening. My gosh, why?
Earlier, we talked about the toads with hair coming out from under their mushroom and how they throw a wrench in Team Head's theory, but there's one character that's different from the rest. Toadette. She has 2 pigtails in her hair, but if you take a closer look at them, you will see that they're not coming from hair underneath her mushroom. They're either extensions attached to the mushroom or a growth coming from within the mushroom itself. Either way, it's not coming from underneath the mushroom, making it another point for Team Head.
Literally how? Toadette has weird mushroom growths. How does that discount the multitude of toads with actual hair?
You know what they say? Chili today, hot tamale. Why?
If this doesn't convince you, there was an extremely scientific and infallible poll to decide whether the community thinks Toad's mushroom is a hat or part of his head on Twitter. It turns out that 66% of the community believes that Toad's mushroom is a part of his head.
This proves absolutely nothing. Community polls are not canon facts. They can't be used to prove things. Now this is it for the Team Head side of the debate. But, in case you forgot, we still have one more thing to iron out here.
Why did the bonano fall out of the tree? I don't know. Why? Why? Because it was dead.
Hold up just a second now. Don't buy into this Nintendo propaganda.
Nope! Get it away from me! He's doing the game theory thing! Make it stop!
There could definitely be another explanation as to what Toad's mushroom actually is. A cordyceps fungus.
Said make it stop! Yep, we're doing this freaking crap again! Cordyceps, I'm so ready to die!
Oh, a cow. Oh, that's not the cow. That's a leaf cutter ant. Why did the leaf cutter ant fall out of the tree? Oh, come on. Will you cut it out already?
Toads exhibit a surprising number of zombie-like behaviors.
Do they now?
We all know toads are loyal servants to Princess Peach, and they'll do anything for her, to the point where Peach actually uses them as shields in Super Smash Bros.
We are not going to dare use Smash Bros as a credible source of information. Get that out of my house. For clarification, if we're using Smash Bros as a credible source, then Mario and Luigi can both shoot fire without the need for a fire flower, Peach can magically pull turnips out of metal, and Mario now has an unexplained clone who's a doctor for some reason. Case in point, don't use Smash Bros as a credible source.
The fact that she does this shows that she doesn't value the lives of toads much. She wouldn't put their lives on the line unless toads were easily disposable to her. Aw, they're adorable disposable minions capable of doing Peach's dirty work. Very impressive.
Nobody ever dies in Smash Bros. Seriously. Toads also have lives outside of serving Princess Peach. Look at the first 2 Paper Mario games especially, and you'll see what I mean.
But Peach may have done something even more impressive. Weaponize the cordyceps fungus. No toad is stupid enough to just follow Peach around and put their lives on the line for her without question, unless she pays really, really well. Peach must have found a way to use this cordyceps fungus to zombify the toads and turn them into blindly loyal servants.
Oh my gosh, it's like I'm living Toad's deadly secret all over again.
Cordyceps. One word, cordyceps. Peach is the one who brought the toads to the Mushroom Kingdom in the first place. That's why they all worship her, and that's why in the US for 8 years she went by another name, one that tipped us all off to her grand scheme from the very beginning. Peach's other name, Princess Toadstool.
Except for the fact that the Toads existed before Princess Peach was even born. Or did you just forget Mario and Luigi Partners in Time was a thing? Isn't Deja Vu so much fun? And just like that was the ending point to that video, it's also the ending point to this one. It's final thoughts time. Well, this theory pretty much fell apart from the word go. Character analyzation is clearly not MatPat's strong point, and it... Wait. Wrong video. This video was dumb. The problem with advocating for 3 different sides, one after another, is that you tend to contradict yourself more often than not. These points, though, were flimsy at best and flat out wrong at worst. The only piece of substantial evidence brought to the table was the Odyssey Dev Talk interview. Nothing was really properly elaborated upon either. This was an especially big issue when it came time to lobby for Team Mystery. There just wasn't enough substance put in to really make the theories presented feel important. Ugh, if I hear the word cordyceps one more time in relation to toads, I'm going to MatPat's house with an axe.